Let's bring in Simon Banks now, former Labor advisor and strategist at Hawker Britain, and Peter McGoran, former Howard government minister and now senior advisor at Bondi Partners. Peter, first to you, this stumble by Anthony Albanese, the first gaffe of the campaign. How damaging is it?
Very damaging. You can't soft sell this one, but early in the campaign, it's fundamental to your credibility. It's not fatal, obviously, but I think people know that a leader must know the unemployment rate. The cash rate's a little bit more forgivable. I think, though, it also plays badly for Labor in that it's given a boost to the Liberals, provided they don't overplay their hand. You know, let the journalists do their job, let them broadcast it on tonight's news and in tomorrow's newspapers. They'll come back to it, no doubt, with advertisements and with continual taunting of the Leader of the Opposition. But I think it gives them the rank and file, the workers, a spring in their step.
Simon Banks, it was a pretty messy flub gaffe from Mr Albanese.
Yeah, and it was a mistake that clearly shouldn't have been made. I mean, you know, Kieran, leaders actually get, briefed on this stuff every day. They try and keep up to date with this important data so that if they are asked questions just like this, and you do expect it early in a campaign, that's why Albo came out and apologised pretty quickly, because it clearly was a mistake. He took responsibility for it. But it was only a few weeks ago that Scott Morrison couldn't tell us the price of bread or of petrol. And of course, in previous election campaigns, other candidates have got these data wrong. It hasn't ultimately determined the outcome of the campaign. I think what's more important is what it reveals about a character of a person. In this case, I think, Albo did the right thing. He's apologised. He now has to obviously be held to account, and I'm sure when Andrew gets him on in a few minutes' time, he'll probably ask him a few other bits of data as well to test him out, as other journos will over the days ahead. But, what's the comparison with Scott Morrison? I mean, every time he turns around, he lies about things. When he's caught out lying, he lies about lying and blames other people for the fact that he lied. I mean, that's the way that this Prime Minister behaves. We've seen that over the last 3 years. I think there's a pretty good contrast there with Anthony Albanese today.
Peter McGoran, it's clearly an effort by the Labor campaign and Anthony Albanese quick to own the mistake, to fess up, and then to try and pivot and distract, turn it to, again, that often repeated critique of the Prime Minister.
Yep, good strategy, frankly the only strategy, but it's not going to save Mr Albanese from an embarrassing 12 hours, 24 hours. The best they can hope to do is minimise it. But again, I think a lot of that depends, and the Liberals will be debating this afternoon. Do they hit negative campaign advertisements tonight? Do they wait? My feeling is, would be that they will wait, because they know that the mainstream journalists, at least, will have to hold him accountable to a significant step. I know the Prime Minister couldn't name the price of petrol and of milk and bread. That was in the recesses of time, but it's been resurrected. But the unemployment rate just is fundamental to all economic literacy and discussion.
The other stumble, I thought, Simon Banks, correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess it's the first full day. You can understand he's a bit nervous or yet to find his feet, but you've also got Katie Gallagher standing there. She's his finance spokesperson. That's the whole point of having senior figures with you. If you stumble, if you've got a doubt, handball it. She knew it off the top of her head, both those figures, very quickly.
Yeah, I think unfortunately with these sort of data, Kieran, people expect their leaders to know it. So I don't think you can just sort of dodge the question, if you like, and pretend that you're just going to rely on someone else. I don't think that would have worked either. So look, I think the reality is, Albo didn't have it on top of his brain. He should have. As I said, they do prepare for these types of events. I hope he'll be better in future. But I think he then did the right thing. He came out and apologised, accepted that was a mistake. Peter's dead right. Look, I'm sure it's going to be the political news tonight. The real question is going to be over the next 5 or 6 weeks. I had Scott Morrison tell us yesterday that his is the party of low taxes. Well, he's the second highest taxing government in Australian history, and the only government that's been a higher taxing government than his is John Howard and Peter Costello's. So we kind of get lies all the time out of this Prime Minister, not the truth of what's really going on. And I look forward to actually having a really substantial debate about the economy, who really is better for Australians in terms of economic management. And we know when it comes particularly to the fundamental issue around cost of living, which is wage growth, this government has the worst record in living memory in terms of wage growth.